Hello, I'm Camelia and this is Kini News. Selangor Mentri Besar Amirudin Shari today reveals the full scale of the damage from the Putra Heights gas explosion and confirmed that investigations into the cause of the leak have begun.
Selangor Mentri Besar Amirudin Shari announced that 87 houses and premises affected by the Putra Heights gas pipeline fire have been declared a total loss. During a press conference today, he explained that these properties were deemed uninhabitable due to the severe damage caused by the fire on April 1st.
Selain itu, 148 buah rumah terjejas dan mengalami kerosakan tetapi boleh didiami setelah melalui proses baik pulih ataupun penambahbaikan. Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat dan Jabatan Kesihatan Negeri akan mengambil tanggungjawab memurnikan data jumlah penduduk yang benar-benar terkesan dengan insiden kebakaran ini supaya tidak timbul sebarang isu mengambil kesempatan ataupun mereka yang tertinggal atau terlepas dalam menerima sokongan dan bantuan yang telah ditetapkan.
Amirudin also confirmed that investigations into the gas pipeline leak in Putra Heights began yesterday.
Pada masa ini, kita telah mengambil maklum ke semua klip-klip, video, laporan, maklumat dan kita akan memanggil semua pihak yang terbabit dan hal itu akan dimaklumkan mulai esok oleh Ketua Polis Negeri dalam taklimat beliau juga dalam tempoh 2 hari sekali. Bermakna setiap hari akan ada taklimat PC seperti ini. Satu yang melibatkan dasar keputusan keseluruhan, satu yang melibatkan satu lagi pada hari seterusnya yang melibatkan aspek-aspek siasatan. Sama ada yang melibatkan kriminal kecuaian ataupun aspek-aspek teknikal yang akan dibentangkan oleh jabatan-jabatan yang terbabit.
As Putra Heights residents are allowed back home after last week's devastating gas pipeline fire, many are still grappling with the aftermath.
Some residents affected by the Putra Heights gas pipeline fire remain hesitant to return home despite being given the green light. While electricity supply is being restored, many homes are still in disrepair. Bernama reported that one resident, Sarah Amira Ahmad Idris, said her family's house was covered in fire ash and left in disarray, making it difficult for them to move back. A total of 148 homes were affected, with residents allowed to return in phases. Petaling District Officer Huzunul Haidil Muhammad said 41 homeowners from Jalan 1/3A were the first to re-enter for electrical inspections. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Anthony Luke said used car company Caro has agreed to provide 30 vehicles for temporary use by the victims.
Semalam saya difahamkan ada syarikat kenderaan yang telah pun offer 50 buah kenderaan untuk kegunaan sementara. Hari ini saya nak nyatakan bahawa kita juga telah menghubungi beberapa syarikat lain. Jadi akan ada tambahan kenderaan. Setakat ini pihak syarikat Caro telah pun bersetuju untuk menyediakan 30 buah kenderaan tambahan untuk kegunaan mangsa-mangsa kebakaran ini.
The massive gas pipeline fire in Putra Heights has left a trail of destruction and now the Construction Industry Development Board Malaysia is backtracking on its initial statement.
The Construction Industry Development Board Malaysia (CIDB) has retracted its earlier statement on the gas pipeline fire in Putra Heights, Subang Jaya and issued an apology. The board said the move was to avoid preempting ongoing investigations involving multiple authorities. CIDB also assured full cooperation and emphasised its commitment to transparency and integrity in addressing the incident. Yesterday, CIDB said it was informed there were no construction works at a nearby development site when the Putra Heights gas pipeline fire broke out. The fire, which erupted at 8:10 a.m. on Tuesday, created a 32-foot deep crater and scorched an area spanning 70 by 80 feet. The blaze, with intense heat and towering flames, destroyed homes, vehicles and properties within a 500-meter radius. Over 300 people were displaced, with some hospitalized, while others were evacuated to a temporary shelter. CIDB reiterated that any safety breaches or non-compliance in the construction industry will be dealt with accordingly.
Cover-up or confusion? CIDB's U-turn on the Putra Heights gas fire has sparked outrage, with Selangor PAS Youth warning against blame games.
Selangor PAS Youth has criticised the Construction Industry Development Board Malaysia or CIDB for retracting its initial statement on the Putra Heights gas pipeline fire. The Wing's Chief Sukri Omar questioned why CIDB first denied any construction activities but later backtracked after dashcam footage surfaced. He described the retraction as shameful and raised concerns about whether certain parties were being protected. Sukri also cautioned against shifting blame onto Petronas, stating that if the company was negligent, it must be proven professionally. However, he warned that if this was an attempt to cover up the failures of contractors or local enforcement agencies, it would not be tolerated. He further accused the government of a possible cover-up, arguing that such actions would only fuel public anger and erode trust in the authorities. In response, Selangor Past Youth issued 3 demands: a clear explanation from CIDB, an independent investigation, and strict action against those responsible.
Moving on to the next story, Washington is turning up the heat on its trading partners, and Malaysia is on the list as part of Trump's latest move to tackle America's trade deficit. But Malaysia isn't alone. Cambodia, China, Japan, and the EU are also getting hit.
The US is imposing a 24% tariff on Malaysian imports as part of President Donald Trump's push to reduce the country's trade deficit. Trump announced the move from the White House early this morning, 4 a.m. Malaysia time, during the Liberation Day event. The chart he displayed ranked Malaysia 11th among countries facing new tariffs, just behind Switzerland and Indonesia. It showed Malaysia imposing 40% tariffs on US products, while the US set its reciprocal tariff at 24%.
If you look at Switzerland, 61% to 31%, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, oh, look at Cambodia, 97%. We're going to bring it down to 49%. They made a fortune with the United States of America. United Kingdom, 10%, and we'll go 10%. So we'll do the same thing.
The US is one of Malaysia's top export markets alongside China and Singapore. In 2023, Malaysia exported $53.85 billion or 240 billion ringgit of goods to the US, with more than half being electrical and electronic products. Meanwhile, Cambodia faces the highest US tariff at 49% in response to its 97% tariff on US goods. Meanwhile, countries like the UK are only hit with a 10% tariff. Other major US trading partners also face increases: China at 34%, the EU at 20%, and Japan at 24%. Trump had previously said he would unveil a slew of new tariffs on April 2nd.
Malaysia won't hit back with tariffs, but can it cushion the blow? With the US slapping a 24% duty on Malaysian goods, the government is banking on diplomacy and trade deals to soften the impact.
Malaysia will not impose retaliatory tariffs against the US despite Washington's decision to hike import duties on Malaysian goods. Instead, the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry says it will engage with US authorities to find a fair solution. In a statement today, the ministry acknowledges the tariff hike as a challenge but believes in constructive dialogue to protect Malaysia's trade interests. Earlier today, President Donald Trump announced new tariffs, imposing a 24% duty on Malaysian exports. In response, Malaysia's National Geoeconomic Command Centre will assess the impact and explore strategies to support affected industries. The government is also expanding exports to high-growth markets and leveraging free trade agreements like CPTPP and RCEP. Machang MP Wan Ahmad Faisal warned that the tariffs could hit key industries, including electronics, furniture and textiles, leading to job losses and reduced export contracts. He urged the government to diversify exports to West Asia and Africa and strengthen Petronas as Malaysia's economic backbone. Meanwhile, the ministry says it remains committed to safeguarding Malaysia's economy while maintaining strong ties with the US.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.